What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another CCLP4 episode, video, part, whatever you all are calling it. We left off on Monster Swapper, which is level 80 of this magnificent set, and let's get started. So this level is basically one of those classic type of Andrew Menzies levels that it's kind of like encased in carbonite, except in this case it's it's with monster movement patterns. So for example, I can get the inner chips on this section but not the outer ones of this bug section, whereas the mirrored section up top with Paramecia, I can do the opposite, and this corridor leads to a chip which I can't get with the fireball there. This I can't obtain because the bug moves left or follows the left wall. I can't get those two chips because of the 2x1 ball spaces. However, I can get these two chips because the tanks stop. And then here I can get the yellow key because the Paramecia will follow the right wall. So it's basically one of these types of levels, like choose which one works and not the one that doesn't. Most of the ones that do work are up here though, which is probably my only complaint with this level. It is the fact that most of the stuff that does work is in this section of the level. I do wish there were at least two things that worked in the bottom section, but it is what it is. So here I can get this other red key because gliders can go over water, of course. Whereas the same scenario here is with a fireball or fireball cloners on the bottom, and fireball cloning directly into water won't even appear. So I guess there are like three things that work down here, but still, I think Andrew might know what I'm referring to. So the last two chips are in the ball section, which I can get through here. The tank part I can't get through because they're on the same axis. And you can, I think there are exits in both sections if I remember right, but I don't remember. But that was Monster Swapper, a level that quite a few people wanted to see in CCLP1, and to be completely honest, I think this would have done better in CCLP1 than here, but it's still a fun level. Alright, in Strange for a Season, this is the level we have chosen for the level 81 slot for the set, which is usually a thinking related level. And this level being level 81 was mostly my doing. Because it does require some thinking, in my opinion. There were a couple other levels that are in the set that we kind of toyed with being level 81, such as Sewerway and Lean Thinking, I want to say. Alright. So here I want to be able to get the red key. So the gimmick with this level is you have to mess with this ball pattern a little bit. You have to mess it up a little bit so you can get through the corridor with the fireballs. And they still clone at the same time every so often. That should do. Alright. This red button should not be pressed. And it shouldn't be pressed because it blocks off the exit. And this is just a little item swapper part that just kind of fills up more of the map. But it's alright. I want to get you up here, so just to ensure that you'll be stuck here. Okay. So some people might not agree with the flippers being under the block. I kind of have to agree. I don't think that was a necessary thing, and yeah, I'm one to talk about that. Okay, almost synchronized. So the fact that you have to unsync and then resync the balls back together is a pretty cool idea, and I can never do it. Okay, almost. Alright, come on. There we go. And now you can get through here by ducking out in these little green lock corridors. It's a pretty cool level. Definitely one that I completely undermined during the testing phase of the set construction. But once voting was around and everything, and I actually played the level, or got around to playing the level, it quickly became one of my favorites in CCLP4. Or favorites before the set was released and finalized. This is definitely a really great level by Eric. Definitely my favorite of his in this set, and he has 2 in this set, not just 1. Unlike the previous 2 CCLPs that were released, he actually has 2 in this set. So Puzzle Box is the next level. So this was another one that did pretty well in voting. There was a pretty similar level that was made by Eddie called Matrix Splitting, I want to say was the title of it. And I know one person in particular that prefers that over this level. And upon looking at the map, or maps of this level and Matrix Splitting, and comparing them, I can definitely see why the other one is preferred. But I don't remember if that was submitted for CCLP4, and if it was, I don't know if we included it in the voting. I want to say we didn't. I could be wrong though. I most likely am. But I think it made more sense to include this one since it did bring the concept to the table. Okay, I have a feeling I need another. There we go. I need more red keys. Oh, I don't have that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and bridge this away. And then here, I did not think I only had one yellow key. That's not good. I didn't think I only had one. I thought I had two. Did I seriously screw the level? Apparently I did. I thought I had more than one yellow key. That's the only reason why I unlocked that. Oh well. Alright, let's not unlock everything right away. Let's actually get this green key right off the bat. Collect as many keys as I can, since I don't want to screw this level again. Alright. So now the path I want to take for these is mostly the same. And then here, something like that. And then there. Let's see. Looks like I'm in the clear now. Can I take it this way? Ha, I can take it this way. That's even better. Alright. With a 2-second improvement on an untimed level. I guess that's good. But that's Puzzle Box by Henry Potts, which is a really awesome level. I think this was another one I was kind of hoping that would pull through for CCLP1 as well. But, this is, unlike Monster Swapper, I think this is better suited for this set instead. Alright, Frozen Over. There are multiple ways to collect some chips. Exit is located in the northeast corner. There is nothing under any block. So, right off the bat, I'm just going to say that this level's time limit is way too high. I am sorry, guys on the staff, but 500 seconds is way too much time on this level. I remember that was one of the biggest arguments we had for this level in particular was the time limit. Because I want to say it was originally 300 in voting, and a lot of people wanted it to be increased, I think, up to 600 seconds, and that was just way too unnecessary. And I know why it was argued to increase the time limit, because this is a concept that requires you to be careful. And I get it, but that's what you try the blocks out for. I think the time limit kind of kills this concept, in my opinion, of pushing a block and waiting to see if it's a safe block to push or not, or proceed with. I had a really planned out route for this in links, and which I thought was the bold, but wasn't. So my bold time for the, or my, not my bold time, my links time for this level is a lot higher than it is here. But yeah, I wanted the time limit to be like at the most 400. I didn't want it to be 500. I mean, 450 was pushing it. I was really shooting for 350 because as many levels as I have in this set, I don't have a single level that has a time limit of 350, which is my alias number, which is kind of unfortunate. But everyone wanted to be 500 seconds, and I'm sorry, but I'm always going to disagree with that. And so is Jeffrey, which I'm super happy for. But yeah, I designed this level though. It was just a completely random thought I had when I designed this, and I remember I designed this at nighttime. I just put ice everywhere, or I put blocks everywhere, and then I put ice. I just scattered ice tiles all over the place and put some chips in and tested it to see if it was solvable, and it was. And then I wanted to be sure it was moderately fair, and having at least a couple different ways to collect some chips, which I went ahead and did so, and that was the level. That was pretty much it. It did pretty well in voting. I think that was in the top 149, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, Forsythia. This was one of the highest rated levels in voting. I remember that. And that tank wall part was my idea, but I did not make the level. Apparently you can save a pop-up wall in that I did not know about, or I knew about, but I found out about, is what I meant to say. I'm actually going to try to get the bold time on this, because apparently this is a super easy level to get bold on, from what I was told, because this fireball part is a huge equalizer. Love that fire boot puzzle, by the way. Alright. So yeah, this level is pretty cool. This is definitely one of my favorites in the set, without a doubt. The tank wall part was inspired by a level I designed called Next in Line, which unfortunately got completely killed in this round of voting, which indicates that it's never going to get into an official set, which is fine. I'm kind of over that level anyway. Are you serious? I pressed up before I... whatever. I didn't mean to wait there. Or oof there, come on. But yeah, Next in Line was a level I made with the concept of a tank wall configuration. and the designer of it took it. Even though I don't really care. Oh my, I pressed right. My finger was holding the right key. You stupid keyboard. I normally wouldn't try to get bold, but this level having a really big equalizer, I can't really pass that up. So, plus I'm not that far behind. I think I'm only 11 seconds shy of bowl time. Yeah, that's exactly what I did earlier, and it didn't work for some reason. I guess we'll get that block ready. Oh. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get bold anyway, because there's probably some block pattern, block pushing pattern that I'm not seeing. Alright, one last block. Hopefully I don't boost into fireballs. I don't know how I did that earlier. There we go. Alright. Go to this section. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get bold on this. I probably messed up the Sokoban pushing section. Oh well. Let's get a 1 second improvement instead and be 10 short of bold. That's fine with me. Alright, Nectar Meadow. So this was my highest rated level in CCLP4. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty surprised at that. I honestly didn't expect this level to be that much fun for people to play. Well, other than Marcus, who apparently didn't like this level. But that doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I'm really surprised that people like this level that much. Like, I did not expect it. But I'll take this being my highest rated level over Ghetto Piranha any day. So this level was designed for a crate competition from, I want to say a year ago now, or earlier this year. No, it couldn't have been earlier this year. It was that pallet crate competition that from Western Standards of Living that I mentioned. This used another pallet that didn't have any walls at all, again, but had forced floors and chips and only green keys and locks and sockets and such like that. Ice skates, hints, bombs, blocks. So, of course, my thought process for designing a level for this palette was to use sockets and green locks as the aesthetic choice, which I did. And apparently the host, Jeffrey, of that crate competition used the same aesthetic choice for his own level, but his was more or less a Sokoban challenge than an actual quote-unquote campaign level. Overall, I'm pretty proud of how this turned out. I'm definitely surprised it was my own highest rated level. I think it was like 5th place. Like, that's how good it did in voting. Yeah, I use the hints as aesthetics to kind of represent like little nectar spots in this apparent meadow. And the level title is a reference to a location in a Pokemon game that came out in winter of 2015 called Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, which is a fantastic game. Like, I love that game so much. I love the soundtrack of the game, and one of the dungeons in that game is named Nectar Meadow. There is no real purpose to these hint tiles other than to add to the aesthetics, which is the absolute truth. So, yeah. There was a dungeon named Nectar Meadow in that game, and the soundtrack for that dungeon is well, at the time I was obsessed with it, and so I made a level with the dungeon title. But overall, I'm really happy that most of you liked this level. I definitely didn't anticipate it being super liked like that when I designed it. Of course, I hoped it would be fun for people to play and such, but I didn't expect it to be my highest rated level. So, to the voters, thanks for enjoying the level so much. I'm glad to know I'm doing something right in this world of level design. Alright, Cyprus. The level that redeemed itself finally for an official set. Thank goodness. This should have been the highest rated level in CCLP4 voting entirely, but it wasn't. Am I gonna oof? I'm gonna oof. Okay, Mr. Fireball. So this level is, I don't think I need to explain my thoughts on this level. I absolutely love this level. I am going to mention that Jeffrey and I actually designed a level for this, with this level's wall layout called Lbanan, I think is how you pronounce the country name. Yeah, that level is a lot of fun to work on. It's in Ultimate Chip 6, so definitely check it out if you haven't. You'll know which part I designed. I can safely say that. And Jeffrey also asked this during a speed run of this set that he did about a month ago about this Sokoban, whether it's adapted as well or actually original. Oh my god. My keyboard is so stupid. Oh, but now you'll register that I'm oofing. Of course you will. At least I won't oof this time. Perfect. If I keep this up, I might actually get an improvement this time. So far, so good. This is gonna be quite an improvement, I think. I'm pretty sure this Sokoban's original, though. If I have to guess. A 25-second improvement. I will accept that any day. That is awesome. I am super happy this got into CCLP4. It was probably obvious after CCLP1, but after I found out that this was compared to chip alone, that was kind of disappointing, honestly. But from JB's reasoning for the explanation, or for the reasoning of why they went with chip alone instead of this in CCLP1, it makes more sense and more justice to Tom Patton, I suppose. Alright, and the walls kept tumbling down. That's a song reference, but I don't know what song exactly. You need every chip and key. Chips aren't under blocks. You can't take keys between rooms. Okay, so I want to say, yeah, I just need the one key for this side, and I need that. So this level is pretty cool. I wasn't the biggest fan of it when I first played it, but during testing and all that stuff, and I don't remember this. I think I already messed it up. Wait, no, I didn't. Aha, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of this level when I first played it, but as voting went on, and all that good stuff, it definitely warmed up to me, and I'm kind of glad it did. This might be one of my favorite Andrew levels in the set. Oh, there was a thin wall under there. Like, I can definitely respect how this was constructed. Like, this was, I can tell it was carefully constructed. And I like this part with the hot blocks. Like, that's pretty cool. And I probably had a shot for an improvement, but I missed it. Oh well. That was by Andrew Menzies. Good level. I'm curious to know what the band to that level, the song title to this is, if that made sense. Alright, empty rooms. Is there going to be a level mod to this called Full Rooms? That should be in TCCLP rejects, by the way. And those are appearing. So this concept, with the moving blocks out of the way into a empty room like this, definitely took some huge inspiration to several levels of mine, actually. The one I can think of right off the bat is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which had a section like this. That was, of course, back when I first saw a level and I saw something about a level that was unique, I immediately had to take it and kind of use it myself. Kind of to make myself look cool, and that was a stupid thing I did when I was designing back in the day. Alright, now that shut up. This level's pretty cool though. That hint says empty, or I think empty hallways too, but I'm not gonna read it. Even though there's a way you can safely read it, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Now we can do that. Opens up that empty room so the bug has time to actually hit the toggle button for you. And an appropriate ending to this level, and a big ol' room with invisible walls. And pretty straightforward path with them too. Missed an improvement again. Just barely too. Oh well, that was by Tyler Sontag, which didn't have an adapted Sokoban, which is great. Alright, Diametric Opposition. So this is another level from that crate competition that both Western Standards of Living and Nectar Meadow came from. This, however, uses the same palette as Western Standards of Living. So 2 levels from the same palette did well enough to get into the same official set, which I think is pretty cool. And I need to release this walker. There we go. Alright, now this section's a little different. And I remember I played this in Ultimate Chip 5 as well, and I had some problems with this cloning room. However, it's really not that bad. You just kind of have to be careful with how you handle the dirt tiles and such. And I'm going to clone 2. Kind of save some time there. Oh, wow. I hesitated. That was my own fault. Okay. That's a pretty cool collision, and you get an extra red key out of that too. Actually, you don't even need the red. Actually, yeah, you just need one, of course, but... Yeah, I had some trouble with that room for whatever reason. And holy shit, that's an improvement. Okay, that's awesome. That's two big improvements in this video. That's pretty cool. So, I think that'll be it for this video. That's another 40+ minute video that I've recorded. I really need to get into a better habit of not doing that. But that's the entire decade or 80s decade that I just completed. So that's pretty cool. My throat is completely dry because I have talked a lot, and that's probably the biggest reason why I haven't recorded so much lately, is because I've been having that issue lately for some reason, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna stop talking and probably drink something or get something to drink. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope the commentary was slightly better than the last one. Until then, I'll see you guys later for Wretched Hive of Scum and Villainy.